Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadha Srivasati.
Hare Krishna. Bhagavad-gita is here again. We are continuing the second chapter from Bhagavad-gita as it is. And the second chapter is the contents of the Gita summarized with a strong focus on the nature of the soul. Yes, so I will read a Sanskrit. This is also, for those of you who are studying in that way, one of the verses you can write down and learn by heart, because that's one of the, they're kind of foundational to the rest of the concepts we will study and learn. Matra sparshas kaunteya shitoshna sukha dukkada agama payino nityas tangs titikshas vabharata. O son of Kunti, the non-permanent appearance of happiness and distress and their disappearance in due course are like the appearance and disappearance of winter and summer season. They arise from sense perception, O scion of Bharata, and one must learn to tolerate them without being disturbed. And I will read the purport, the commentary by His Divine Grace A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Prabhupada. In the proper discharge of one's duty, one has to learn to tolerate non-permanent appearances and disappearances of happiness and distress. According to Vedic injunction, one has to take his bath early in the morning, even during the month of Magha, which is January and February. It is very cold at that time, but in spite of that, a man who abides by the religious principles does not hesitate to take his bath. Similarly, a woman does not hesitate to cook in the kitchen in the months of May and June, the hottest part of the summer season. So these are Indian hottest and coldest, obviously. One has to execute his duty in spite of climatic inconveniences. Similarly, to fight is the religious principle of the Kshatriyas, and although one has to fight with some friend or relative, one should not deviate from his prescribed duty. One has to follow the prescribed rules and regulations of religious principles in order to rise up to the platform of knowledge, because by knowledge and devotion only can one liberate himself from the clutches of Maya, illusion. The two different names of address given to Arjuna are also significant. To address him as Kaunteya signifies his great blood relations from his mother's side, and to address him as Bharata signifies his greatness from his father's side. From both sides he is supposed to have a great heritage. A great heritage brings responsibility in the matter of proper discharge of duties. Therefore, he cannot avoid fighting. Yes, we are back to the fighting, but we're also down to a very significant philosophical principle, because life will always change. Everything we have, everything we know will change. Everything we know goes away in due course. And this is not surprising. And therefore, here, Arjuna is a Kshatriya and he's standing in front of a battle, and Krishna is pointing out, so he will point this out from many different, angles. It is not that the only point here is that Arjuna is a great Kshatriya and therefore he has to fight. This is one of the angles. But one very important point here is that when we understand this, how everything in this world, we can see the seasons, they come and go. I am in Sweden, and when we are recording this, we are expecting the season to be spring. Nature has other plans. We wake up to frosty nights and we see the snow falling out of the sky. Very surprising in one sense, but in another sense we know it will come and we know it will go. There will always be some kind of a summer and some kind of a winter. And if we think, when the summer is over, when the winter comes, I'm just going to give up all hope and be miserable, we can make such a choice, but we can also think intelligently. This comes, this goes. I cannot do anything about it. We can really not do anything about summer and winter. Happiness and distress is similar. It is very, it's very easy to mix up the concepts of happiness and of enjoyment. When we are enjoying, we are relishing some input from the senses. Our food may be very tasty, the music may be very enjoyable and soulful, and we may read something or watch a play, or so many things we can enjoy depending on our interests, our nature. Somebody likes to run a marathon, somebody likes to cook a feast. We're all different. But the happiness we receive is not really in connection to what we do. It is, on the other hand, very strongly connected to our karma. Our karma is a Sanskrit word, and after the second chapter, the third chapter will deal thoroughly with the concept of karma. It means action, but built into the word action is also reaction. When we do an action, the reaction will follow. We have that in physics. There we speak of an action having an equal, we put something in, something comes out, and we can measure it. With karma we cannot exactly measure it because it's more subtle and it's more delayed. There may be activities that we did very long ago and still the results are coming today, and our memory doesn't stretch that far. But we can understand that sometimes happiness comes when we do not expect it, and sometimes when everything is set up. It's actually a common phenomenon when we have holidays or when we have big, those milestone points in life where we have built it up, we have built up such expectation, and then the day comes. It's the Christmas with family, or it's that once in a lifetime wedding, or it's that summer holiday when we go away and the weather is perfect and everything's supposed to be perfect, and then we have a fight in the family, or somehow or another, after building up such high expectation, and then it's just another day and we feel very much down. So some have this more and some have it less. Some have a more steady nature, and some have more of an up and down nature. But we can all notice that happiness, it comes sometimes, and sadness, unhappiness, suffering comes at other points. And we may chase after that happiness that we once felt, and we will never be able to regain it, and we will feel great disappointment. Or we may take a philosophical step back and observe existence and connect our observations, if possible, with the knowledge of the Bhagavad-gita. And then we can find that what Krsna says, happiness and distress comes and goes, it is not a cause for lamentation. It is actually a great platform to build our spiritual life on, to build our expectation on. And here we speak about Arjuna, who is a Kshatriya. And a Kshatriya has to be very determined. But this goes for everybody. It really doesn't matter if you have a family, if you have a job, if you have if you're an artist and you have a life passion in that direction. There will be days when you don't want to get out of the bed. There will be days where you just want to be sad. If you don't overcome that by determination, then it doesn't make you happier. It doesn't make things better. But on the other hand, if you can find, maybe not an external thing. Of course, if you do have children, please take care of your children, even when you're sad. But most other things, we can do them or we can leave them. It doesn't matter. But in the course of our lives, it is very important to find the core. We find who we are. And then some days we're more under some sort of lethargic mode, or sometimes we are full of hurt feelings, and sometimes things are so fantastic and we're so elated. But if we can hold on to that core of who we really are during all these changes of our mood or of the circumstances and so on, then we can become steady, we can become peaceful. And Bhagavad-gita, Krsna and Prabhupada, who translated for us, we're all recommending that the real core is the spirit soul. The real core is our actual person within, the spirit soul within. And And then we can remember on the days when we feel very inspired and into it, or the days when we feel distracted and drawn to other pursuits, and the days when we feel rather hopeless. The soul inside does not change, and the path of Bhakti Yoga does not change. So if we can find that single-minded determination, then it is easier to reach success in our path, and it's also it also greatly favors our attempt at gaining that peaceful content stage, which is of course very good for spiritual life, but also a great stage to find, to become our new normal. And that is one of the aspects of what Krishna is saying here. Thank you very much. Hare Krishna.
Thank you for watching. We aim for updates every Tuesday and Friday. Please come back. If you have any questions or comments, please leave them down there. We also have some links and information for you. And there is, of course, the subscribe button. Thank you. Hare Krishna.
I'm a Hare Krishna, and I approve this message. Subscribe.
Vandeham Shri Guru Shri Juta Padakamalam